The Trump administration says that foreign truck drivers are gaming the system and taking jobs from American workers, including right here in Arizona.
The Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy made a stop here in Phoenix today to meet with law enforcement and talk about a crackdown that's already led to thousands of visas being revoked. He spoke exclusively to our Kyle Simchuk.
U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is warning about what he calls a growing threat on America's highways. During a visit to Phoenix, Duffy said that some foreign truck drivers are operating illegally in the U.S. and don't meet requirements that American drivers must follow.
These are 80,000-pound big rig missiles, if you will, and making sure we have drivers that are well qualified, well trained.
Duffy says one of those requirements is English proficiency.
You have to speak English in America. Again, you have to be able to communicate with law enforcement when they pull you over. What kind of load are you carrying? You have to be able to read road signs. We've seen videos from all over the country. Americans who might be going to Walmart or going to church are getting killed by a commercial driver.
But federal crash data shows foreign drivers account for a small fraction of fatal truck crashes. Of the 3,831 fatal crashes involving large trucks nationwide in 2025, just 17 involved drivers who would be affected by the federal crackdown. Still, Duffy argues the issue isn't just about crash numbers. He says it's also about enforcing federal rules and protecting American jobs.
We're pulling the visas of those Mexican drivers who violate our rules. And what this is about is making sure that that American companies, American drivers have these jobs and these loads.
The practice is known as cabotage. Mexican truck drivers are allowed to bring freight into the United States, drop it off, and return to Mexico. What they cannot do is pick up additional loads inside the U.S. and deliver them to other U.S. cities. Duffy says that happens frequently in border states like Arizona.
If Mexican carriers are taking them illegally, you're taking jobs from a great American family.
Since January, the Department of Transportation says about 3,200 Mexican commercial drivers have had their visas revoked for cabotage violations.
They'll be flagged if they try to come across the border again.
Phoenix is a one-day drive from major Western markets, and Nogales remains one of the busiest trade gateways on the U.S.-Mexico border. I asked Duffy if the crackdown could cause delays.
There can be some delays, but once the Mexican drivers know that we're going to enforce the rules, they're not going to game the rules anymore.
Duffy insists the increased enforcement has nothing to do with politics.
This is American infrastructure, and it's important that we have great American rules that keep American families, when they're on the road, safe from people who may not have been well trained.
In Phoenix, Kyle Simchuk, 12 News.